Hey, what's up, y'all? Atma and Noor here, Cacophony. You're watching Live Prog. Pay attention.
Welcome to Live Prog. I am your host Marcel Haster. The band I have for you in this video review is a band that I reconnected with a few weeks back at the Rock Ittervoort Festival. They opened there, and for me that was the first time I saw them on stage. Well, basically ever since they played live with their debut album, well, in the early 2000s, 2003, 2004. So it was a pleasant reconnection with me, and I was reminded of how awesome this band is and how awesome their new album is. Because yes, they have a new album out. I have it right here. Suncaged, The Lotus Effect.
Last I saw those eyes, so young inside this hand mirror, vanish my new home, learning to see the other side of a child's memory.
I'll be honest, I have the debut album. I missed the second one, which was released in 2007, called Artemisia, but I am very happy to have a copy of this one, The Lotus Effect. This is the third album by Suncaged. Now, they had lineup changes over the years, but well, for a couple of years they had a very stable lineup. When they played at Rock Ittervoort, they had one member change because the original drummer, Roel van Helden, had decided to leave the band. They found a new drummer, Mick Gravey, but unfortunately he could not join the band at that moment. They had a very special guest on drums, the legendary Atma Amour. And well, check out the Live Prog report on liveprog.com, where you can see a bit of an interview with him and see him in action along with the band. But he's of course not on the album. Roel van Helden is on the album. I heard Roel van Helden play before on other bands, and I gotta say, he's an incredible drummer. This is a very interesting album. Let's take a closer look. Now, you have of course the cover. Here you can see it a little bit better, with the mad scientists on it. Now, on the inside, there's not much artwork. There's mostly lyrics. You may notice there are a lot of lyrics in it. The band, a lot more lyrics, and the thank yous, with again the mad scientist. So there's not a lot of artwork except for the front page, but there are a lot of lyrics inside. So let's look at the lineup. We have, of course, on guitars, the one and only Dutch shred master, Marcel Koenen. You see this guy on stage. You know, I saw him and I was so impressed with his play. He is such an amazing and talented guitar player. And well, when I saw the performance of the band, I say they 45 minutes was way too short for them. They need, the full headliner set. They need an hour and a half to play. They can fill it up perfectly and everybody will love it. Absolutely. One of the reasons why I love this album so much is the singer. And I heard previous singers of the band and I absolutely enjoyed them, but I gotta say this is the best singer they ever had. Paul Adrian Villarreal. An interesting name, very nice guy, and simply a stunning singer. Absolutely. When you listen to the album, but also when you hear him live, he has a lot of power, he has a fantastic voice. Really amazing.
I'll send a sign for you.
Then we have René Kroon on keyboards, and I found that in this album his parts are quite important. He's also from another Dutch band, the Barstool Philosophers. Not familiar with them, but based on what I hear of this, that might be a reason to check out that band as well. Then we have, of course, I mentioned him, Roel van Helden on drums. And we have someone other very interesting, Mr. Daniel Kohn on the bass guitar. Daniel Kohn's from Germany. And when I saw him on stage, and I was really wondering, like, what kind of instrument does this guy has? And he has a 9-string bass. I never seen anything like that before. I thought it was more something like a stick, but it was a 9-string bass. And I gotta say, the way he played it, very impressive. So, well, that shows, you know, and I compare the lineup from the booklet to what I saw on stage, and I gotta say, this is a fantastic lineup. Well, when you have such a great lineup, the expectations for the music are high as well. What about the music? Well, first of all, I can tell you there is a lot of it on this album. The album runs for around 74 minutes, and that's a lot. 14 tracks. They open on a really high note with Seam Ripper and the Blanket Statement. When that opens, when they go at it, you know, the drums, the bass, the guitars, they come at you, they just, you know, blow you away. Absolutely. This is a killer opening track. And they keep on that level, you know. I don't have a feeling that somewhere around those 47 minutes they lose their focus or they lose their concentration. It is a tough one to listen to, you know, in its entirety, because it's a pretty heavy album. It's prog metal, of course, and it's absolutely one of the best prog metal I've heard in a long time.
As I try in vain, desperately striving not to strain, desire not to feel desire.
From that point on, we're good. Now, the first 7 songs are songs. Why do I say that? Because the other 7 songs, the second half of the album, has a bit of a bigger title. I hope I say it right. Ashtamangala, the 8 auspicious symbols. That is the whole title for the 7 tracks that follow. It's basically one song, which they cut into smaller parts. But wow, really, really, really impressive when they do that. It is a big concept piece, and I can only say this is really something you should listen to. But you really need to take your time with this album. You really need to give it enough spins so you can, you know, fully digest it, because, well, think of it as a huge meal with all kinds of delicious, well, items in it, food items in it, that, you know, you also need to take your time and take it slow. You need to do that with this album as well. One spin is not enough, especially for the second half of the album. It definitely requires more listening time, but I can assure you, you will absolutely love it, because when you listen to these guys and you see how they play, how they compose the songs, you can, it's just awesome. It's absolutely an awesome album, and I'm really happy that I get a chance, well, to share my emotions of this album with you. And I hope you will feel the same, and if you are into prog metal, this is a must-have. Absolutely, must-have album, definitely. Well, then I kinda stepped on my own toes, because what's the verdict? Well, I don't think I have to make a secret of that. The secret is very simple. Must-have album. If you like prog metal, must-have. This is the best prog metal that Holland has to offer, and even internationally, I think this is definitely up with the big guys. You know, they should definitely have a bigger audience. I don't want them to play stadiums just yet. You know, let them play at the nice gigs where they can have a good interaction with the audience. But these guys are simply the top of the bill here. Suncaged, The Lotus Effect. If you don't have it, if you like prog metal, buy it.